Free thinkers, what's good? How y'all feeling? Have you had your green tea today? You see I'm having my tea today. I'm drinking a little bit of Zoom, just trying to get everything right before this race tomorrow that I have, CIM. So yeah, have you had your tea today? How many miles have you run today? Today we're here to talk about running and posture. And that's because this book really changed my life. So this book right here, The Lost Art of Running by Shane Benzie, changed everything. I was looking to get the knowledge from someplace, and I wanted to soak it up. And it's like, well, what better place to get knowledge than a book? It's like you could watch YouTube and you could do all these different things, but I feel like everybody, well, not everybody, but a lot of different YouTube creators had gotten basically a lot of their knowledge from this book, and this is what changed a lot of the things that they had to say, but they just weren't referencing the book. So I'm like, I just want to give you guys the straight source. So The Lost Art of Running by Shane Benzie is a book to check out. And for me personally, I think it's one of the reasons why I ran such a great race in New York City, and my PR was so close to what I did in Berlin. Just to give you an example, like my peak week in Berlin was like 80 miles. I was doing about 60 to 70 miles per training for that training block. For this training block, I did less miles, but I also didn't do garbage miles. I know we said all work is good work, but I wanted to get rid of the garbage miles and really just focus on my posture. Making sure my head is up high, landing on a tripod landing, making sure my chest is leaning forward, I'm not hinging at the waist, you feel me? Making sure those arms are connected to my legs and swinging back. I wanted to make sure everything was right, and that's what that book basically told me. Like, our posture while we run is just as important as our posture when we're not running. So I think for me personally, that's what helped me to run such a great race. Because prior to that, at the end of races, I noticed that I would start, hinging forward at the race. My shoulders would drop, and my posture basically would go out the window, and I would hobble to the finish line. Where this one, even though I felt like I was hobbling to the finish line, I still hobbled very strong because my posture was there. Being able to read this book and focus on posture, it changed everything. Like, everything was completely changed, and I'm just like, yo, what's going on here? There's one thing that he says in the book to me is really crucial, where it's like, we slow ourselves down a lot. Like, half of our battle is not slowing ourselves down, because every time we slow ourselves down, we're exerting energy, and then we're making ourselves tired. That's why I feel like this is the perfect book if you want to run half marathons, ultra marathons, and regular marathons. Even if you want to do a 10K and you feel like you get gassed in the beginning, you have nothing left at the end, half the time we're slowing ourselves down. I noticed the big difference when I stopped slowing myself down, and I was like, you know what, I'm gonna just go with the flow. I threw my heart rate out the window. I was like, I can't worry about heart rate. The heart rate to get there, like I'll be able to build a strong engine the more time I get out there and the more time that I practice, right? This taught me that there's skills behind running, and it's like running is about being loose and flowing like water, like Bruce Lee said. I took it a step. First I was like, let me increase my cadence. Then I was like, let me focus on posture. Because as he goes through the book, he doesn't just give you it all at once. He kind of like spoon feeds it to you so you can put it together. Again, he gives you these building blocks, things to build on to then become a better runner. And I think after that, I've become an extremely better runner, because I wasn't thinking about increasing my cadence. I wasn't thinking about the arm swings, and I've noticed that even now when I'm tired, I'm able to pick up those little things. If I get them all right, and I'm like, all right, the way I landing on that tripod, and running as tall as I can, I notice that I don't feel as winded. I don't feel as tired. I'm not using my muscles. I'm using more so my fascia system. Like, I'm using my muscles too, but I'm using my fascia system to really have me bounce. And I'm still starting to feel the elasticity, because it's a weird feeling to describe, but you just feel like you're flowing and loose. Whereas running before, I felt in my quads a lot. I never really felt things in my knees, but I felt it in my quads. I felt it in my arms, I felt it in my shoulders, but that's because I have poor posture. If my shoulders are always like this, and then I'm running, and that also takes me back to something that Bill Bowerman said, where he's like, the reason why they made those shoes so light was, when you get to the further distances along in a marathon, that's when every ounce counts. But this book, I'm telling you, you're gonna start bouncing around. You're not gonna be slowing yourself down. You're gonna be going super fast. You're gonna be moving super efficiently the way I run more efficiently. It's just gonna be better for you. You feel me? It's only gonna help you unlock new PRs, or if you call it PBs, new personal bests, so that you crush that marathon, and and you're not even looking back. If we keep our cadence up, if we lay on that tripod landing and we push up and we worry about trying to put more air underneath our feet and try to get our knees closer to our center of gravity and making sure we swinging our arms and our arms are in line with our legs, we're gonna be unstoppable. And then on top of that, we're taking our salt pills to take away the cramping that comes from all the salt and electrolytes we're losing, then drinking water, and then replenishing our bodies with Gatorade on top of taking the fuel for the nutrition. Yo, we all gonna be outside like, yo, this is light. That's the goal for us all to win. I just really want us all to win, you feel me? Alright, so this one thing doesn't have to do with anything that's in the book particularly, but I will say that the book forced me to challenge myself, because I took a lot of the things that I was saying on, and I was like, all right, I could challenge myself to do this. Because one thing like the fascia, resetting your fascia system, and that taking 7 months, I took the challenge of that. So one thing I could say that the book did do is ignited the passion and the challenging and the competitor in me to see how far I could take it, and understanding that I'm not trying to be better. I'm not trying to just get better quickly. Like, I want to get better over time. And I gave myself the time, like, all right, in 2 years, I'm going to be able to go and run a sub 3 hour marathon. And that's still a goal in the next 2-3 years. But I do think by putting in the work continuously daily, that I might be able to get there a bit quicker. And that's one thing that I learned from the book, because of the way that he talked about when you do the work, making sure that you're just engulfed in the work. And so it's like, well, when you take somebody that is engulfed in the work and putting in the work in the right, I don't want to say in the right way, but executing it at a high skilled level. And so you have this person executing at a high level, and then the volume increases. It's kind of like, it's hard to not be the best version of yourself or wanting to be the best. And then on top of having the competitive nature that I have, and if you have a competitive nature where you're competing with the old version of yourself every day, like, all right, I'm always competing with the version of me yesterday, because that's what I feel like the last best version of me is, or the version of me today. It's like, well, how can I be better? How can I do this better? How could I go harder? And I think that was the final key that this book definitely gave me. It's like, all right, taking those challenges on, and that's one thing. One of the reasons why I love to read is you are able, with reading, I'm able to take on a challenge like, well, how would I do this different? Or, I mean, and this could be from, you could get this from videos. It doesn't necessarily have to be from a book, but I just think it's important that you get your knowledge directly from like a source. So yes, videos are great, and even like you sit here watching this on YouTube, and I can sit here and say like, oh, I could have just basically took all of the tips from the book and then act like that I didn't read that book, and then just try to give you the information. I do think that, for one, I could give you my spin on it, but also you should go to the reference and see, because there's, how else are we gonna challenge and get better if we don't also go to the reference? It's like, I want to run a fast marathon. I would be crazy to not look at Kipchoge's posture and stuff like that. It's like, oh, his posture is great. At the end, seeing him finish a marathon and finish strong is like, wow. And then hearing him saying like, oh yes, of course I was in pain, but I was able to push through that pain. And it's understanding that like success comes with pain, like I said in the earlier video. You can watch that. I might link to it below, but I think that's very important. And that's one of the things where, all right, well, we could get there. We could definitely get there. It's just up to us to take advantage of all of the little skills and tips and tricks. Well, it's not tricks, but take advantage of all of the skills and work that we could get out of this thing. So
the lost art of running, I think ignited that in me. It gave me that, oh snap, because there is something to figuring this whole thing out on your own. You know what I'm saying? Like, yes, you could lean on like a coach or whoever as a crutch, but when you got to figure things out on your own, it's like, well, that's igniting the passion in you to really figure this out. So I think that in reading you get that. It's like, well, I want to become a better writer. Go and read, watch movies, break it down. How would you do it better? Don't just watch things that are good, watch things that are bad. Because more often than not, if you watch a video that's, say like, man, I could do that, I could do it way better than that, then don't let your ego get in the way and actually put in that work.
Jeff Cavalier said it the best. To look like an athlete, you gotta train like an athlete. This is the way right now, for us to look like athletes, to train like, you gotta train like athletes. So the same rules and postures and things that they follow, we should follow too. And that's what I feel this book has taught me, how to operate and move like an elite athlete. And then soon, look, when I get that, when I start running sub 230s, you know how we doing it, 240. I mean, we gonna get ambitious, but we gonna do it before 50, baby. We gonna try to get that before 50, but for right now, the goal is sub 3, we gonna get that. We aiming for that. Or if you want us to run a sub 4, you aiming that, you gonna get that. Sub 330, you aiming for that, we gonna get that. Regardless of the fact, we gonna get everything. We deserve it all, you feel me? And we gonna get it all because we gonna put that work in. We gonna put in triple the work. And that's what it really is, you feel me? So y'all know how we doing it, you dig? And if you've read this book already, please testify for the people below. Tell your story. Let them know, like, yo, this is a book that you need to read. Like, I don't urge people to do things. Like, I'm not trying to sell you this book. I'm not. I'm just trying to give you some game. Like, if you could pick this up, it's not too expensive. If you have a person in your life that wants to get you something for Christmas, matter of fact, I might just give a couple of these away for Christmas. So leave y'all emails below, and I might just cop y'all some books just off the love of me. Like, you know what I'm saying? Y'all comment below. I'll probably do like a little, pull some names randomly and then just give them away. So matter of fact, leave your email below. I'm purchasing some books. Let's go. That's what we're gonna do our first giveaway. We're doing our first giveaway here because that's how much I believe in y'all. That's how much I believe in this community. This is how much I want to share the wealth that I have gained from this book. I just believe in it. Like I said, this video is not sponsored. I am not getting no check. I just really want to help. So put y'all emails below. We're gonna do like a random thing, and I'm probably gonna give away 4 of these. I'm gonna give away 4 of these. So y'all know what it is. Y'all know the vibes. Holla at your boy Teo. Look, I do it for y'all. I do it for me. We do it for each other. Let's go. Out.